Would you put the all-time great WNBA players against the Sacramento Kings of today? No, because even the worst of the best is beating the best of the worst. Welcome to Draw the Play podcast. I know. Episode 1 was so long ago, NBA trades and junk, but we back. And what are we back with? YouTube hoopers versus hoopers on YouTube. Now you're probably asking, is there even a difference? There's a big difference. Big difference. By the way, shout out to everyone who's been subscribing to the channel 1.04. We doing alright for saying we just got back on YouTube. I used to do YouTube in high school, but that didn't go so well. If you know the story, you know the story, but we back. Past a K in a year. That was the goal. That was my initial goal. That was the goal. Next goal of 5K in under the next year. Hopefully we're surpassed that. But today's topics. Who are the YouTube hoopers? Who are the hoopers on YouTube? And the difference between the two. Should we do a game between them? Now this is where it gets a little dicey. The TikTok folks who want to come over to the YouTube platform. That's where it gets dicey. Because that's a different platform. Shout out Chris with the wrist. I think let me check here. Yeah, he had a whole, TikTok hoopers, which I just call them basketball players, because I don't know a single hooper on TikTok. There's a difference, people, between a hooper and a basketball player. Let's start it out. So YouTube hoopers, that's people who are on YouTube, may make basketball content, but prior to YouTube really didn't do too much anything basketball wise. Now that may include people like Flight Reacts, Cash Nasty, Jidel, basically a majority of two hype besides LSK, Zach, and Jesse. Who else is this YouTube hooper? I wanna say Kenny, but I don't know. Tell me if y'all consider Kenny a YouTube hooper. Definitely the Flight and Cash are YouTube hoopers. And it can get a little bit dicey because if you don't know too much, but I don't know if Jesse played a lot of high school ball or if he played any at all before dropping out doing YouTube, all that. So I don't know if I'd put him as a YouTube hooper or even a hooper who does YouTube. He just plays basketball. That's where he is. Sorry, I'm scrolling through subscriptions to see who would be a YouTube hooper versus hooper who does YouTube. Manny Chillin, YouTube hooper. Sorry bro, I had to do it. Don't call me out and not back it up. Again, I don't know about Kenny. I don't know where he would lie. M-Dub Deuce, he's a hooper who does YouTube. So what is a hooper that does YouTube? Hooper that does YouTube is someone who played at a high enough level, we'll say high school and above, before YouTube, played any level of basketball before YouTube, and just does YouTube now. I'm a hooper that does YouTube. I guarantee 90% of y'all who've been calling me out in the comments getting cooked. Y'all have never seen me play. You see me training my little brother to play people. You see me play him to get his mentality and skills right. Never seen me play 100%. And that's your downfall, because I've seen all of your stuff at 100%. I would put myself at hooper who does YouTube, especially because the skill level you have to require for a high school coach to even consider you to play college, or even ask if you had a want to play college and try to get things in order for you for offers. If you're calling me out and you haven't been at any level of basketball, don't do it. It's not good for you. Got this new tripod, by the way. Y'all like the angles? It's way better than setting it up on a box. My contact solution behind it. Oh, little ad break, little shameless promo. Referral link and code down below. MyProtein US. Get 30% off anything you order. Pretty much my plug. So YouTube hoopers. Hoopers who do YouTube. My bad. So you would have had to have a high enough play level to even be considered for the list. So Austin Mills, the one from Baylor. I don't know too much about A-Millie, but I feel like he's a hooper who does YouTube. I don't know his background before TikTok and YouTube, but clearly he's skilled. Austin Mills, myself, AJ Lepre, LSK, Marcellus Howard, Zach TTG, Dev, Friga, We are the hoopers who do YouTube, and there's a difference. There's a big difference. Okay. Yes, both basketball, but it's a levels thing. So like Flight, Cash, that group of YouTube hoopers I mentioned will never have a 5 or even 1v1 and beat a hooper who does YouTube. That's why Kenny lost to Cell. Let's be real. It's a levels thing. Some of it's IQ. Some of it is just straight skill. Let's be real. Is my camera tilted? Why is it like that? It's the same reason Manny Chillin called me out and thinks he's gonna let me or allow me to win. But this isn't about me. This is a community thing, basketball community thing. So YouTube hoopers versus hoopers who do YouTube. Hoopers who do YouTube are winning. It's just straight up. You think a YouTube TikTok hooper like GeoWise is beating me, Austin Mills, A Millie, LSK, Marcellus Howard, anyone on that list? No, it's not happening. It's really just not. And it's no disrespect to any of the YouTube hoopers, but it's a levels thing. Let's be real. It's like, I hate to use this example, but we about to do it. It's like, would you put the all-time great WNBA players against the Sacramento Kings of today? No, because even the worst of the best is beating the best of the worst. Put that on a t-shirt. That was kind of fire. But and we're not talking about the biological difference, okay? We're talking skill level difference. So YouTube hoopers versus, we'll go into WNBA versus NBA also in this segment. It's a comparison type video of basketball skill, but it's just not happening for the YouTube hoopers, okay? Especially when, and shout out the 1v1 Hoops podcast and Chris with the wrist. For their video, I don't know if I'll be able to find it, but they did a segment, and I'll play a snippet of it right now.
And it's just crazy, like what he did. Like, it's somebody who is absolutely garbage, absolutely garbage at basketball. This man has the money to go to these trainers that train NBA players, and he still isn't that good yet. And then, like, when he's literally playing the exact same, it's just like, dude, like, I'm kind of tired of watching you just be so ass. So it's like, I don't know how much longer I'm gonna sit here and just like buy into it, because like, you gotta think. And I also think about this for Cash. Cash is obviously, like, we've seen Cash get better, but I feel like Cash should be better than what he is right now. Cash is top of the key, yeah. You can shoot the top of the key wide open, but yet you're still mediocre at it. But you're getting trained, like, you got R2B ball, you got Eddie, who's like works like on your offensive game. Like, you got these high level trainers, and like, you're still kind of the same. You're saying I'm not a hooper, I'm just a hooper. Like, bro, you are training with R2B ball, a hooper. Yeah. You are training with these people that we want to be trained by, that hoopers want to be trained by, hoopists want to be trained by. And you're saying, I'm not a hooper. I'm just a hooper. Like, you're trying to be a hooper, but you're too apt to where you're just a hooper. That's what. Yeah, he mainly uses it too when he loses.
Basically, it was about like how YouTube hoopers like Cash and Flight are gonna fall off in the basketball community. Not the reaction side of things or entertainment, but pure hooping. Because let's be real, Cash is not good. Neither is Flight. It's no disrespect to their character or personage. They're just not good at basketball at all. And when you fail to improve as a basketball player, especially as a YouTube hooper who wants to do this for a living and wants to try to beat other people at a higher level, if you're not improving, you're going to fall off. And that's kind of what happened to Geo. Now, Geo is not a YouTube hooper. He's a TikTok basketball player who, falsifies evidence and fakes his edits and buckets and junk. But we're not going to go into Geo. But it's the same reason Geo kind of fell off. He had his little bit of hype where he was flexing his grandparents' stuff and stuff at an Airbnb and hotel, going off on Cam Wilder, things like that. And then fell off because nobody cares about the flexing or the trolling. There's only one person on this platform who can flex and troll and still have a career, and unfortunately that's Jake Paul. But you go into a curve, right? So with YouTube basketball, or the basketball community, we don't call it YouTube basketball because that's like a whole different topic. We can talk about it later in the podcast, but when you have people like Geo, right, who are trying to come into the YouTube space, Geo, Cash, Flight, heck, even Kenny sometimes, when you fail to improve, you fall off. And I don't want that to happen to anybody. Let's be real. No matter how bad you are at it, I don't want anybody to fall off. Because it's playing with people's livelihoods, let's be real. But when you fail to improve, the gimmick is up. And I believe that's what Chris with the wrist brought out. It could have been J1v1 Hoops, or I forgot the other guy on the podcast. I'm sorry, bro, but I'm bad with names. I'm good with faces, but I'm bad with names. That's a Jack Johnson reference. It's like the gimmick is kind of up. People fell, like 2020, pandemic. Well, pandemic's still here, but 2020, you had Cash versus June Flight, right? The premier 1v1 of the year. They also played this year. Nobody was hyped for June Flight at all, because we know he wasn't going to improve, and if he did, it wasn't by enough of a margin for it to mean much. So yes, YouTube hoopers are entertaining. Using Cash and Flight as an example, they're entertaining, but they're not good or good enough to continue to bring value to the basketball community. Yes, they're going to have their little videos where they kind of pop off a little bit. Their fan bases, individual fan bases will mess with them. But in the grand scheme of things, in the basketball community, I don't see it panning out for them. I have tendonitis in both knees. I guarantee I'm beating Cash and Flight in the same day. I have the stamina and skill for it. It's one of those things. But then again, that goes back to me being a hooper on YouTube. There's a difference. It's like the same. Well, I mean, Devin Freak is not a good example because those are both hoopers. But it's the reason you'll never see Kenny Chow 1v1 Dev. It's like yeah, it'll bring Kenny some clout, maybe, because he's gonna lose, but people know who he is, so it'll bring some more traffic his way. But like with Dev, what does Dev have to gain from that? Nothing. It's Kenny. No disrespect, Kenny, but Kenny does not have the skill to match up with Dev. So in the same way, it's like hoopers on YouTube. That's where we are, right? Our channel as a collective, and other content creators who've had a history of basketball and do it on YouTube now. Austin Mills, A. Millie, Marcellus Howard, LSK, people like that, versus YouTube hoopers. It's like, what do we have to gain? Yeah, we gain the reactions, we gain, traffic on our channels, we gain more people knowing us type stuff, which, I mean, that only gets you so far in life. But what do we have to gain from playing against YouTube hoopers? Like, what is someone like me or Marcellus Howard gonna gain from playing against Cheeseaholics or Flight? Like, you see what I mean? Because I know what I mean, but I'm not good at explaining things. So yeah, YouTube hoopers versus hoopers on YouTube. Y'all tell me y'all's dealio on that. But moving on. So first of all, it's time to get controversial. Female hoopers on YouTube versus male hoopers. If I can find the clip from Stefania, I will put it in this podcast, and you'll listen to it right now.
Right now, alright. I'm about to do another one. Y'all have been spamming me about this. This isn't really going to be a reaction. This is more of a proposal. It's me commentating on some things that's been going around, and then proposing what I think is a good idea. So, y'all really haven't hit me up about the top 10 YouTuber list. You've been in my DMs, in my comments, everything. Okay? Here's what I gotta say first. First of all, I'm not upset that I'm not on the top 10 YouTube list. I am a little bit confused about some of the people on the list. I didn't even know some of them balled, let alone were considered basketball YouTubers. But it is what it is, And I wasn't gonna even say anything about any of this until I just saw the top 40 basketball YouTube list from LSK, Chris London. Not mad that I'm not on the top 40, because I think he said he was only doing people 100K and up. I focus on the real life basketball community, bringing people together in real life through basketball, putting on for females. I don't know. Personally, I think there needs to be a tournament. Alright, a basketball YouTuber tournament. If you have 50K plus subscribers, you can enter this tournament. I'll do all the work to get this all sorted, figure it all out, I'll organize the whole thing. Another thing, there's no females on any of your lists. I'm being, like, if we're being real, and this is gonna be really controversial, we got 3 females in the YouTube basketball community now. Bree, Jenna, and me. Like I said, I'm decent. Okay, I'm not saying I'm the greatest player to ever play, nothing. Like, for not ever playing high school or college, I'm decent. But the fact that I'm a female with everything that I got going for me, I'm decent. Alright, Bree and Jenna, they're beasts. I personally think that if you asked Bree and Jenna and me to play all of the male basketball YouTubers, that we could probably beat majority of the male basketball YouTubers. I'm just being honest. I really think that we could beat them. I'm just saying, y'all. I know that that's going to be controversial, but I really do think that. So here's what like I said, here's what I gotta say. I think we should have a tournament. If you're 50K plus, you can enter the tournament. Let's see who really is the top basketball YouTubers, for real.
So we see here, Steph just proposed a 1v1 tournament, which you have to have a certain amount of subscribers for. Not mad about it. Totally get it, because it's a marketing thing. So if you don't have enough clout for it, you're not gonna bring as much traffic. I get it. I totally understand. But say I'm in it, right? I don't care what your gender is. If we're on the court, you're just a human I'm finna blow by and score on. It doesn't matter. So yes, I really appreciate Steph's willingness to even want to set this up and make the challenge, because let's be real, there's only like 4 females on YouTube who are part of this community. We're not counting the college players who have channels and just post vlogs or day in the life with Jalen Suggs type stuff. Shout out Paige Buckers. But think of it this way, right? We'll use the weightlifting example I used in the WNBA video. So I saw this video, I don't remember where, but it was like, oh, ladies like the video if you're benching 1 plate on each side. Now, mind you, 1 plate on each side is 135 pounds total, right? That's like 65 pounds less than I weigh. So of course I'm benching 135. But it's like that for a female. And let's get into biology. We're not talking about women's rights, any of that. That for a female is a lot of weight to push. Men are born with testosterone, 1, and more muscle mass, 2. And a different brain entirely, 3. And a stronger bone structure. So it's like that same weight that would be a lot for a female, I can rep out 135, maybe 10 sets of 10, honestly. There's a fundamental difference, just biologically, that you're not going to match up with. So I really appreciate Steph's enthusiasm, willingness to want to set this up and coordinate everything. But to make the bold claim that you, Jenna Bandy, aka female Luka Doncic, who can only shoot while open and moves way slower, Bree Green, okay, Bree don't count though. Bree can hoop with the dudes, bro. She can hold her own, bro. I ain't even gonna lie. Still locking her up. That you, Jenna, what's that other girl's name? Lolo Fitzmaurice. Hey, shout out to Rye though. Yeah. That little girl with that 12-year-old little girl with the handles, Jiggy Izzy, whatever. Like, yeah, I appreciate for a 12, 13-year-old, but you do realize those park videos, these grown men are taking it easy on you. Like they're letting, okay, we're not even gonna go into that. I'm not gonna destroy little girl's ego or anything, because that'd be totally wrong. But let's get back to Steph and her preposterous claims that she's beating 90% of the YouTube hoopers, or hooper of the basketball community. This was the whole point of me explaining YouTube hoopers versus hoopers on YouTube. So if we're taking basketball community, right? Say I had the 50K subs required. That's just as a hypothetical, okay? As a hypothetical, say I had the 50K. That would put me in the competition with Scum TK, Your Rage, myself, Marcellus Howard, LSK, Zach TTG, anyone from Ball is Life pretty much. Who else? Filet, Dev, Friga, A Millie. I don't know if I said him already. Let me take a drink of my water. Non-sponsored. Use my code below. I mentioned those names. Steph, do you really think you're beating 90% of the basketball community? Maybe Flight? Cash is just as bad as Flight. Let's be real. Cash is just as bad as Flight. Only difference is basketball IQ and muscle mass. That's it. They're both equally as bad. Let's get that real. He has no hot spot, no top of the key, can't shoot. And he fouls every time he plays defense. That's not defense, that's fouling and hacking. But even with how bad Cash is, he's still like 6 times your strength. If he wanted to bully you into the post and score every time, he can do that. And there is absolutely no amount of lifting you can do, Steph, that will help you with that. I'm sorry. For Steph, Jenna, and Bree to make the bold claim, I know Jenna and Bree probably didn't make that claim, but this goes back into another video also. For Steph to make the claim that them 3 are dropping off 90% of the basketball community who were grown men. Some of us, like myself, I'm not even in my athletic prime. I'm cooking people not even in my prime. Like J. Cole said, how come I ain't into his prime, still getting better after all this time? Like, bro, I'm dropping off a lot of people. I'm not even my prime. So imagine all these other grown men who are in their athletic prime. They're gonna run through you. Again, I appreciate the enthusiasm, but you gotta be realistic, dude. And this goes into another topic. So J-Law just posted a video playing against like Lolo Fitzmo, Lauren Fitzmaurice. She played at Syracuse. She's a shooter when open. Jenna, shooter when open. Very slow handles, slow moving. No disrespect. I'm just analyzing archetypes and basketball skill. She's fire. She can hoop, but she's not beating a remotely athletic guy. It's literally biology. And y'all, for some reason, don't. Carson Roney. So for some reason, y'all don't understand biology plays a huge factor. It's not about men and women can do equal things. It's about the level that they can be done. Some of it's biology. It's just facts. And if you can't handle that, then maybe you need to go back and take 9th grade biology. We play Carson, Steph, Jenna, and Lauren. Okay. Shout out all those girls. I'll have their stuff in the description if I remember. But J-Law posted a video playing against that 4, right? King of the court style. So gender doesn't matter on the court, as I've said. You're just a person I'm gonna get buckets on. So why did they have J-Law using the female ball? I shouldn't have to handicap myself. If you're confident in your hooping abilities, then just come hoop. It doesn't matter which ball we use. But if that's your solo thing, is let's give him a handicap. Then maybe you're not as good as you really think you are. Let's be real. That's why the U.S. women's national soccer team got beat by the U15 high school 14-year-old boys squad in their awkward tripping over themselves phase. That's why the WNBA causes the NBA a dramatic loss. It's in revenue. It's a confidence versus realism type thing. YouTube hoopers to hoopers in YouTube, female hoopers, male hoopers. It's a confidence versus reality. Lauren, Jenna, Steph, Bree, they're all hoopers in their own right. But against grown men who do this, who are in their athletic prime, it's not going to work out well for y'all. And we're not letting you call the soft fouls like, oh, I got pro bumped on the way to the basket. Oh, it's not happening. You want to step on the court, your gender doesn't matter. If you're on the court, you're not injured, you're not hurt. We're playing you like you're just another human. So gear up, Steph, because it's coming for you. Whenever we start hitting 50K, we'll start dropping off bigger people. It's just fact. But let's get into the nitty-gritty people. Call outs. One of my I wouldn't say first subscribers, but one of my early subscribers, okay, Manny Chillin, called me out. Let me find his comment really quick. So I posted a YouTube short which you know is YouTube's version of TikTok. They kind of go hard sometimes. That video is done finally, and we're actually gonna upload that right now while I'm sitting here. So I posted a YouTube short. YouTube's version of TikTok kind of go hard. You get way higher views than you would on TikTok, I've heard. So I've been using those, and they've been going pretty well. I'm gonna read his comment. So this dude said, "Can't wait to see that trailer," because you know he called me out way before. He's like, "This is a good game, wasn't it?" I was like, "Yeah, I guess," but you know, you don't know what you're getting into. So he's like, "Can't wait to see the trailer." So I said, "Oh, LOL, better start getting in the gym and working." Because I've seen his video. Okay, I saw the 1v1. I have nothing to be afraid of. It goes back to, I don't think you understand exactly how good you have to be offered certain things, or even approached. Just approached in general, I don't think y'all understand how good you have to be. So I said, better start getting in the gym and working, because I stay working. I know I'm at a higher level than most people, and I stay working. The grind never stops. I'm injured, I still stay working in some way, shape, or form. So he said, for a 1v1, could never. After which I proceeded to say, you should probably practice. What you see on my channel is not me even trying, it's me training my little brother, not playing serious. You should probably practice if you want to score 3 points total. Let's be real. He's probably only scoring 3 points total. Across best of 3 games to 11, I'm putting him at only like 3 points. And then on an earlier short, he put, "Can't wait till we play." I don't know what kind of face that is. It's like a laughing face, like a clip that. I said, "You mean you can't wait to watch me win?" He said, "Yes, can't wait to watch you win 1 game in a best of 3 series against me. Yeah, I think I'll let you have 1 game to spice things up." After which I put, "I think you're tripping off some illegal substances, brethren, if you think you're letting me win or that you're winning a single game, but keep the confidence." I like when people have confidence. I'm not here to tear down anyone's character or shatter anyone's confidence. But I just gotta say, what I saw is nothing to inspire fear in me. And I'm gonna leave it at that. So after the pandemic is over, when we're done with this mask stuff and vaccines and junk, I mean, we'll always have to do the vaccine, because it's gonna end up being like a flu vaccine type thing you get yearly. But after that's all done, I mean, come play me, or yeah, you come play me. You'll be the one playing. I'll be the one just you know, it'll be a shoot around for me. Let's be real. But y'all will be getting that trailer soon. It's just gonna be a trailer matching up highlights and stuff. I think he only has one game out, so if I can find all my old files, if I can find any of my old footage, I'll post it. And you'll realize my high school pickup game, even my pickup game self, is like torching some of y'all. I don't think y'all understand, but if I find it, I will post that. But yeah, that's all I got for y'all today, to be honest. Like that's all I wanted to go over. YouTube hoopers, hoopers on YouTube, female hoopers, male hoopers, hoopers in general, call outs, don't call me out, do your scouting report. It'll be in your best interest to do a scouting report and kind of assess your skill accurately. But yeah, thanks for listening or watching. If you're watching, thanks for watching the Draw the Play podcast. Draw the Play because it's a podcast over sports. You draw the play on the board, and nerd things like comics are drawn. So enjoy. Next episode, don't know when it'll be, but hopefully we'll have more people on it. And yeah, like, share, comment, subscribe, clip portions of this. I don't care. Post it. I don't care. That just gives me more exposure. Y'all stay safe out there in the pandemic. Wear your mask if you need to. I'm not telling you what to do. That's your own decision. Wear your mask if you need to. Get vaccinated if you need to. That way more of us can leave our houses and more of y'all can get dropped off. But yeah, like, share, comment, subscribe. Draw the Play podcast. We out.